back.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Did you?
Basically a full restoration.
Yeah, those are nice.
Well, I had, I put RC 350 bars on it.
Oh, okay.
A fork brace on it.
Yeah.
Rick's fork springs and a shock spring actually as well.
Oh, okay.
And I put a, you're doing a taller too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Steve did a lot of work in this thing. Dewey did also.
Really?
Yeah. So these were the best tires I could find for it.
Really?
The front calipers, Alliance, Master Cylinder, all new. Steve took it all the way down to the frame, painted the frame, painted the wheels, painted the subframe. Obviously, we had Orlando at his body shop do this, paint the tank, the front fender, did this fender, and I shopped around and found those emblems. Those weren't cheap. This is actually a tank, a silver and red tank off of an 82 that we had repainted. This was the only one I could find, didn't have rust in it.
Was that the one that was sitting in your garage and I wonder why you had
Well,
that
that was the old one. But this one you never saw. This was, I got off of eBay. It had rust, really nice one. And then so I tried to get like new emblems like this, but they had to use a paint pen to get those pretty close. They look pretty good.
That's amazing.
It has a brand new Barnett clutch.
Really?
And Steve over here, he put an oil pressure gauge right here down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't have oil pressure gauges on them.
No.
You know, from the back. All you had was an oil level, but it didn't have oil pressure.
In fact, I put a Lockhart oil cooler on mine.
Yeah, I put a cooler on that one.
And you can see, he painted the cylinders, he had the motor all apart, rebuilt the carbs. This was pretty new when I got it in August of 2023, and Steve was able to find a brand new tachometer because the red part fades. So now this is like new.
This is beautiful.
That just really bothered me.
Yeah, and I was like, well, let's see if we can find them. Yeah.
And he rebuilt the carbs.
Man, this is just.
They're a little finicky. Yeah, so we added some things to make it easy on you because I couldn't run it around here without the plates on it.
Okay, yeah.
But it's got, I added these, I make these little guys right here. These are thumb screws for the air fuel.
Yeah.
It's versus the little screw that you can't get to without burning your knuckles. So you got thumb screws on this.
So does that, what does that do?
It adjusts your air fuel mix. So I didn't get to ride it a lot, so if it's running a little bit rich or it's popping, the car's a little bit lean, just turn those out to get more fuel on the idle circuit.
Okay.
Turn them in to lean out.
Okay.
So if when you run them, you notice the plugs are fouling a little bit, that's where you adjust your air fuel mix.
Okay.
And just turn, then run around again. And,
That's from both sides.
So each car has one. Yeah, and I got tons of videos on the YouTube channel for it. Actually, this bike's on there.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been
So,
watching it.
yeah, we'll get you the link. You can see actually I didn't do a full video like piece by piece disassembly, but I did a disassembly video of this bike, of your bike.
Really?
And so yeah, so you can watch the disassembly process and the rebuild of it, a couple of test runs that it did, some little things like that.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Should be pretty fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's really enjoyable.
Well, thank you, Jess. It was a long, getting into it, I had no idea. I mean, I had no idea it was gonna be this big of a project. It finally worked out.
So this is actually an 81?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 81-920 change right.
I know the Yamaha dealer, he was a personal friend of mine there in Wichita, Jim's Import Cycles, Bob Ladd. And he had one of these on the floor. I thought it was cool. He couldn't sell it.
Oh,
So I ended up buying it for $1,200,
Oh,
just his
wow.
cost.
Yeah. $1,200. Yeah, they go for a lot now. Some of those parts are $300 for some of these new old stock parts.
Like the tachometer.
Yeah, that tack was great. I'm so happy I found that one. The first one fell through. I had one and I ordered it, and it was about 4 or 5 days, and the seller sent a note to cancel the order. They said that it either didn't have it or it was damaged. Really? I was like, man, that just ended that. And I got to digging, and there was one left that they put the wrong Virago with. They called it a 940 instead of 920.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why it was still sitting there. Really? Yeah. So that's that one, but there's its box. It was truly a new old stock. Yeah, that's the box for that one right there. That's amazing. So yeah, it's amazing. You can find some parts for a 40-something-year-old bike.
Yeah. It had a bit of an oil leak when I brought it out here.
Yeah.
Steve doesn't normally do work for customers, but he agreed to work on this one.
Yeah, I usually just work on my own bikes, but every once in a while.
Okay, Steve.
Oh yeah, no problem. Every once in a while for a good cause, and this was a good cause. Yes, he was playing with me, and I was like, yeah, that's a good cause. And I was like, I got 3 boys too.
These are just such nice motorcycles. It was never really popular, probably just that rear fender, but
Yeah. Funny little fender that was on.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a good riding bike. It rides real smooth, and I'm used to kind of the lower ones because the 750 sit a little lower. And this is like a European feel to it.
I always felt like this bike was so comfortable. I mean, I was in the Air National Guard. I was riding it back from camp training in New Mexico, and I put about 950 miles on it in about 24 hours.
Oh wow, yeah, really riding. Yeah, but it's good. But I didn't know your foot position. I got the clutches kind of clutch and brake about right, but I didn't know your foot position. So
Yeah, I'll fix that.
yeah, you'll have to adjust that little bar there.
So
At
what's
least the brakes work now.
Yeah, those aftermarket brakes.
Before Dewey got to it, it basically wouldn't stop.
Yeah, the front brakes were all brand new. The back brakes look good on the drum in there, so you won't have any problems out of those. Yeah, and it's nice that they put center stands on these. This bike actually, because I'm a lightweight, and not a lot of weight on me, but this bike right here, it comes up on the center stand easy. Yeah, it's amazing how balanced that bike is.
See through that center stand.
And I changed out your side plate, because the one thing I noticed on the motor is your foot will rub on this. And I had a chrome. So I put it. Yeah, because it rubs on it. And so I had some chrome ones off of another motor. So I put chrome rub plate. And on the other side was the same thing on the motor, where your foot rubbed this. So I put you a rub bar right there.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's very nice.
That way you won't, worry about rubbing your feet on the motor when you're going down the road. See the carburetor down here. It's cold, running like 55 or 60 when the motor's pretty cold. healthy your motor is. So hopefully it'll do good. Like I say, just you're used to them, so you know the little nuances of these old bikes with carburetors. But,
Yeah, it's been a long time since I had mine.
yeah, but if anything else, you know, something whatever, that ought to be pretty normal to take care of now. Yeah, shouldn't have to be a problem.
So is that why the ramp was in the bed of the truck? You gotta drop the trailer and load this up?
Yep,